I had always known Marcus Walker would try to destroy me. What my stepbrother hadn't counted on was that I'd been preparing for this day for 2 years. Clear out your desk, little sister, Marcus smirked, leaning against my office doorframe. The board unanimously agreed. You're just not executive material. I kept my face neutral as I looked around the office I'd earned through 6 years of 60-hour weeks at Walker Technologies. The company my father and stepmother had built from nothing, the company I'd helped transform into a $200 million enterprise, and the company Marcus had inherited after our parents' fatal car accident last year. The board? I said quietly, meeting his eyes. You mean your college roommates you appointed after Dad died? They understand real business, Julia. Unlike you, Marcus straightened his Italian silk tie. A gift from my father last Christmas. Face it, you're too soft. Too focused on client relationships and employee satisfaction. This isn't a charity. I began packing my belongings while Marcus watched with undisguised glee. Photos of Dad and me at industry conferences. The awards our cybersecurity division had won under my leadership. The contract from our biggest client, Meridian Global, which I'd secured last month. Remember when you begged Dad to give you a chance? Marcus continued. Fresh out of MIT, thinking your fancy coding skills meant you understood business, he should have listened to Mom and sent you to business school instead. My stepmother, Caroline Walker, had never approved of my technical approach to leadership. Business is about appearances, Julia, she'd say, gesturing at my practical suits and sensible shoes. No one trusts a CEO who looks like their IT department. The Meridian contract, I said, carefully wrapping my father's last birthday gift to me. A crystal paperweight engraved with his favorite quote, "Success leaves clues." They specifically requested me as their point of contact. Marcus waved dismissively. Already handled. I'm taking over their account personally. They understand that family businesses sometimes need to make adjustments. Family, right? Because nothing said family like firing your stepsister 2 days before the anniversary of her father's death. You have until 5 to clear out, Marcus said, checking his Rolex, another of Dad's gifts he claimed after the funeral. Security will escort you out. As he turned to leave, he paused. Oh, and Julia, don't bother updating your LinkedIn. I've already let our industry contacts know about your unfortunate departure. Can't have you embarrassing the Walker name. I waited until his footsteps faded before allowing myself a small smile. Opening my laptop, I typed a quick message to an email address I created 2 years ago. The day Marcus first tried to undermine me in a board meeting. Execute Protocol Alpha. Timestamp. Now. The response came instantly. Protocol Alpha initiated. Status. Active. Next, I pulled out my phone and made 3 calls. The first to my best friend and brilliant corporate lawyer, Sarah Mitchell. It's happening, I said when she answered. Finally, Sarah replied. Papers are ready. Meeting still on for 7. See you there. The second call went to Dr. James Morrison, my father's oldest friend and the only original board member Marcus hadn't managed to force out. Julia, James answered quietly. I just heard. I tried to stop it, but it's okay, I assured him. Is everything in place? Yes. Though I still don't understand why you wanted copies of all those old contracts. You will. Dinner tomorrow. Wouldn't miss it. The final call was to a secure number few people knew existed. Ms. Stone. System activation confirmed. All backups secured and isolated. Waiting for your command. Thank you, Michael. Maintain current status until further notice. By 4:30, my office was empty. I'd worked in this room since college, starting as an intern while Marcus was off finding himself in Europe. Dad had believed in earning your place, in understanding every aspect of the business from the ground up. Marcus had other ideas. At 4:45, security arrived, Ted from 8 and Alicia from the front desk, both looking uncomfortable. Ms. Stone, Ted began, we're supposed to. It's okay, I smiled, handing over my access card. I know you're just doing your job. Alicia hugged me quickly. We'll miss you. As they escorted me through the lobby, I caught glimpses of familiar faces. Developers I'd mentored. Admins I'd supported through family emergencies. Sales team members who'd flourished under my client-first approach. Marcus stood watching from the executive floor balcony, practically radiating satisfaction. In the parking lot, I placed my box of belongings in my Tesla Model S, a car I bought myself, unlike Marcus's company-funded Porsche. As I pulled away from Walker Technologies' gleaming headquarters, my phone buzzed with an incoming email. Subject: New leadership announcement. Walker Technologies from Marcus Walker, CEO to all staff. Team. Today marks an important transition in our company's evolution. Julia Stone is no longer with Walker Technologies. While we appreciate her past contributions, our vision requires stronger, more traditional leadership. I stopped reading and checked the time. 5:15. In precisely 45 minutes, every major client of Walker Technologies would receive a very different kind of email. One that Marcus definitely hadn't approved. At 6 o'clock, I walked into the private room at La Maison, an exclusive restaurant downtown. Sarah was already there, documents spread across the table. Everything's filed, she said without preamble. Stone Security Solutions is officially incorporated. Banking set up, licenses transferred, patents registered. Marcus hasn't found the registration. Sarah smiled wickedly. Filed in Delaware under a holding company. He won't find it until... My phone exploded with notifications, email confirmations, calendar invites, and right on schedule. A flood of messages from Walker Technologies' biggest clients. Now, I finished pulling up the email that had just gone to every major player in our industry. Dear valued partners, I'm excited to announce the launch of Stone Security Solutions, a new venture dedicated to revolutionary cybersecurity solutions. As the former head of security innovation at Walker Technologies and lead architect of the Guardian Protocol, I invite you to join us in redefining digital protection. Attached was a detailed prospectus, client testimonials gathered over months, and most importantly, irrefutable proof that I, not Walker Technologies, held the patents to our most crucial security systems. How long until Marcus figures it out? Sarah asked, pouring champagne. I glanced at my phone. 27 missed calls from Walker Technologies. He's probably reading the fine print right now. The fine print that showed I quietly registered personal patents for every major innovation I developed over the past 2 years. The fine print in client contracts that tied service guarantees to me personally, not the company. The fine print that Marcus, with his MBA and disdain for technical details, had never bothered to read. You know he'll try to fight this, Sarah warned. Let him. I sipped my champagne. Everything's documented. Every patent application, every client meeting, every late-night coding session. And tomorrow? Tomorrow, our friends at Meridian Global announced they're moving their $50 million security contract to Stone Security Solutions. Effective immediately. Sarah's eyes widened. That's why you insisted on those special terms in their contract last month. Success leaves clues, I quoted, touching the crystal paperweight in my bag. Dad taught me that. Along with another important lesson, always read the fine print. My phone buzzed again. Marcus's name flashed on the screen, along with a text. What did you do? I smiled, remembering all the times he dismissed my technical expertise, mocked my focus on details, called me soft. In business, he'd always said, nice girls finish last. Time to show him how wrong he was. Should I order dinner? Sarah asked, watching me silence my phone. This might take a while. Actually, I said, pulling out my laptop, I need to finish something first. I opened my email and began typing. Dear Walker Technologies Board of Directors, in light of recent events, I believe it's time to discuss some irregularities in the company's patent portfolio. The morning after my email to the board, I sat in my new office overlooking the city, watching chaos unfold at Walker Technologies through a very different lens. My phone hadn't stopped buzzing since 6 a.m. when the first international markets opened. News of my departure and the patent situation had spread faster than even I'd anticipated. Walker Technologies stock was already down 15% in pre-market trading. Miss Stone, my new assistant Emma, appeared at the door. You have 3 urgent calls, Meridian Global's CEO, the Wall Street Journal, and your stepmother. I smiled. Caroline finally decided to join the party. The last 12 hours had been exactly what I planned for, but better. After my email to the board detailing the patent irregularities, Marcus had made every wrong move possible. First, he tried to lock me out of the company's systems, only to discover I'd already secured everything I needed. Then he threatened legal action, until Sarah's detailed documentation package arrived at his office at midnight. Put Meridian through first, I told Emma. And can you pull up the latest stock updates? As my largest screen displayed the market data, Robert Chen, Meridian's CEO, came on the line. Julia, quite a show you're putting on, he said, amusement clear in his voice. Good morning, Robert. I trust you received the transition documents, along with proof that you, not Walker Technologies, own the security protocols protecting our global operations? Yes, very enlightening. Marcus called me at 3 a.m., practically hysterical. I could imagine. Marcus had never understood that client relationships were built on trust and competence, not golf games and expensive dinners. Our new contract terms are acceptable? I asked, though I already knew the answer. Better than acceptable. Your direct ownership of the patents actually gives us more security. The board approved the transfer this morning, $50 million as agreed, with the option to expand to $75 million next quarter. After finishing with Robert, I pulled up my email. 800 unread messages, most from industry contacts and Walker Technologies clients. The subject lines told their own story. Urgent, security contract review required, meeting request, patent discussion, Walker Technologies concerns, immediate response needed. But it was the email from James Morrison that caught my attention. Julia, emergency board meeting called for 9 a.m. Marcus is unraveling. Caroline trying to take control, but the patent evidence is damning. You should see this. Attached was a video clip from Walker Technologies security cameras. Marcus in the executive suite at 4 a.m., throwing things, screaming at lawyers on speakerphone. Caroline trying to calm him while frantically texting her financial advisors. I forwarded the clip to Sarah with a quick note. Exhibit A for the hostile work environment claim. Her response was immediate, already added to the file. Beto, 3 more Walker Tech developers just sent their resumes. Senior team following their leader. I'd known this would happen. The developers had been my people from the start, drawn to my technical background and collaborative leadership style. Marcus had never bothered to learn their names, let alone understand their value. At 10 a.m., Emma appeared again. Miss Stone. The Wall Street Journal piece just went live. The headline said it all. Tech Care's power play backfires. Walker Technologies loses patents, clients, and trust. The article was devastating in its precision, detailing how Marcus had attempted to force out the company's chief innovation officer, me, without understanding that I personally held the patents to our core technology. It included quotes from industry analysts questioning Walker Technologies' future without its security protocols and testimonials from clients already announcing their transition to Stone Security Solutions. My phone buzzed. Caroline again. This time I answered. Hello, Caroline. Julia, this has gone too far. My stepmother's usually perfectly controlled voice shook slightly. Your father would be ashamed. Really? Dad would be ashamed that I protected my innovations, that I built my own success instead of letting Marcus steal it. He's your brother. Stepbrother, I corrected, who just tried to destroy my career. How is he enjoying his morning? Caroline's tone turned wheedling. We can fix this. Come back. Equal partnership with Marcus, full board seat. Whatever you want. I already have what I want. I looked around my new office at the teams already working in the open space beyond. My own company, my own terms. No more playing nice while Marcus takes credit for my work. The company will fight this. With what evidence? Every patent application has my name on it. Every major client has personal service clauses. Even the development team's non-competes were with me personally, another detail Marcus didn't bother reading. Silence. Face it, Caroline. You raised Marcus to believe he deserved everything without earning it. Dad raised me to build things that last. After hanging up, I walked through Stone Security Solutions' new headquarters. 48 hours ago, these floors had been empty. Now, thanks to 2 years of careful planning, they hummed with activity. Developers who'd followed me from Walker Technologies sat at gleaming workstations, already improving our security protocols. Sales teams who'd jumped ship were calling clients, smoothing transitions. In the conference room, Sarah led an orientation session for new hires. My phone buzzed with a news alert. Walker Technologies stock had fallen 30%. The board had called another emergency meeting. I returned to my office and opened a secure file on my laptop. Inside was a detailed plan for the next phase, including an analysis of Walker Technologies' vulnerabilities without my patents and a strategy for acquiring their struggling subsidiaries at discount prices. Marcus had wanted to teach me about real business. Lesson learned. Emma appeared one last time. Miss Stone, the Forbes reporter is here for your interview, and Marcus is in the lobby. I smiled, straightening my father's paperweight on my desk. Tell Forbes I'll be right there, and Marcus, let him wait. He's about to learn another lesson about reading the fine print. Opening my drawer, I pulled out one final document, a buyout offer for Walker Technologies already approved by key shareholders. Marcus's unanimous board was about to get very uncomfortable. Sometimes the best revenge isn't destroying your enemies, it's building something so much better that they destroy themselves trying to compete. Dad would have understood that. As I headed to the interview, my phone lit up with a text from Sarah. Board meeting leaked. Marcus just got suspended. Caroline taking leave of absence. Still want to send the offer. I thought about Marcus's smirk as he'd thrown my belongings in a box. About Caroline's years of subtle undermining. About all the times they dismissed my technical approach to business. Send it, I replied. Time for them to learn how real business works. The story spread through industry circles like wildfire. How the quiet stepsister had outmaneuvered the arrogant heir. How technical expertise had trumped traditional business politics. How the nice girl who'd been told to learn real business had ended up owning it all. These days, when I visit clients or speak at conferences, I often catch whispers. That's Julia Stone, the one who. They never finish the sentence. They don't have to. Success tells its own story. Last week, I received an invitation to give the commencement speech at Marcus' old business school. The topic? Innovation, leadership, and the importance of reading the fine print. I accepted with a smile, already planning my speech. After all, I have quite a lesson to share. The company continues to grow beyond even my expectations. But more importantly, we're building something meaningful, a place where technical brilliance is celebrated, where innovation matters more than politics, where the next generation of leaders can thrive without playing old-school power games. Sometimes at night, standing in my office overlooking the city, I touch Dad's paperweight and remember his words. Success leaves clues. Marcus never understood that the clues were there all along, hidden in the code he wouldn't read, in the details he dismissed, in the quiet determination he mistook for weakness. His last email sits unopened in my inbox. You planned this all along, didn't you? Yes, dear stepbrother. Yes, I did. And that's the greatest lesson of all. Sometimes the best business strategy is simply being underestimated by the right people.